Hey, welcome to Plivo webisode 1, everybody. My name is Kang, Pham. I am going to be your host and moderator. I'm very excited to do this. This is the very first webisode that we are launching in a series here, and we have a great show in store for you today. We've got Scot Cromer. He is the CEO of Flight Vector, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his company and also how he leverages the power of SMS to better communicate and expand his reach to his customers. And welcome Scot Cromer, the CEO of Flight Vector, for joining us today. Scot, it is great to have you here, and thank you for being here.
Thanks, Kang. It's great to be here.
You are so welcome. So, Scot, one of the things our listeners are wondering about is, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did Flight Vector get started?
So when I started my company, it was a software development, and I was providing services to the aviation industry. Companies including Tomorrow, Garmin, and Jeppesen, just to name a few. Of course, I got to know a lot of folks in the business. One person in particular was working at an Iridium satellite tracking company and was approached by someone looking to start a dispatch center for their company. They didn't like what was currently out there on the market, so they started as they started talking, my friend thought of me. And so long story short, we met. I decided to write the software and make a business out of it. I sold this person the first copy of the software, and that is how Flight Vector was born.
Wow. So it sounds like you wore a lot of hats there. You worked in development, you did some sales, you ran the company. Tell us exactly, what does the Flight Vector app do?
So Flight Vector is primarily in the emergency medical market. We provide dispatch and map solutions for helicopters, fixed wing planes, as well as ground units. From start to finish, our customers utilize our software. With our flight call app, users can request a helicopter to their current location. With our Flight Vector system, the communication center can input the data needed to start a transport, notify crew members using SMS, track the helicopter during the transport on our map system, and then finally send data files to the charting companies and the billing companies that need the details about the transport. Fortunately or unfortunately, as you may see it, this space is getting smaller and smaller because the bigger companies are buying out the little guys. However, in terms of the number of bases being dispatched by our software, we have over 50% of the market. We compete with two other companies in this space, but we are the company that is advancing the technology, and so we continue to gain more and more customers. Part of this advancing technology is the SMS capability we use, and this is where Plivo comes in. Plivo works well with us because of the vast use of smartphones.
So from what I gather, the leverage of smartphones and technologies supporting smartphone applications is key to what you guys do. Is that correct?
Yeah, smartphones are key to what we do. From being able to request a helicopter and see that helicopter fly to your location without making a phone call, it's pretty cool. I see more and more use of the apps and video technology being used on the smartphones to help within this market.
So Scot, if I understand you correctly, your app is analogous to the Uber app in the same respect that if I were calling for a cab, I could see the Uber cab en route. A dispatcher using the Flight Vector app in the same way can also see a helicopter en route to an emergency situation. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, that is accurate. What is even better about this app is the person asking for the helicopter service can direct the helicopter in terms of where to land. So for example, if there's a multi-car accident on the corner of two streets and there's buildings that are making it difficult for a helicopter to land, the person requesting the helicopter can just see across the street that there's a baseball field, which was a perfect landing zone. Using our app, the GPS coordinates of that baseball field will be sent to the communication center, and in turn, those GPS coordinates can be sent to a pilot using SMS. So there's no question about where they're going.
Scot, can you do a demonstration and show us the Flight Vector app?
Yes, I can do that. So this is just a demo of the flight call app. This is where you can request a helicopter, and someone would come in here and request a flight call, put in their PIN number. I'm going to zoom out here, and as I see a location, this looks like a great location here. So all I have to do within the app is saying, let's call for a flight. It's going to bring up the information. So the important thing is the GPS position that is here is not being typed by a human, so it can't be transposed. And that's a big issue within the emergency medical. You want to make sure the helicopters go into the right location. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm the flight. So when you do this, this is going to go through and communicate with the dispatch center. What the dispatch center will do now is they've received it. They're going to be awaiting an asset assignment, which they did. And when they do this, they're going to send out a text similar to this. And this is where Plivo comes in. This is going to go out to whoever is on the list of people that, crew members, maybe management, anything like that, that needs to see what's going on within their company. So this text message goes out and they will receive that. They can reply back to it if they need to, say, okay, confirm, we know where we're going. And once that's done, as you can see here, the user in the field is now seeing a map with the helicopter actually flying toward them. Wow. So they would be able to watch the entire process from the helicopter lifting off and landing at their location.
Wow, that's amazing, Scott. Scott, I love that demonstration because it really brings to light what the Flight Vector app can do. And it sounds like SMS is a key part to your communications workflow. Now, prior to using SMS, what type of alert services were you deploying?
So prior to SMS, we were sending notifications using the old alphanumeric pagers and emails. But we knew we needed to change to text messaging as everyone has a phone. So most, if not all, of our messages today are being sent and received via SMS. Our customers can set up predefined message templates, and our system will automatically send the information out via SMS. It's a great way to make contact with the communication center instead of having to call them.
You really brought me back there with the pager reference there. Now, when using SMS, there are a lot of options out there. There's the toll-free SMS product. There's the long code SMS. There's the short code. How did you decide for your particular, use case and company, what would be the perfect fit?
Well, all three are good products, but the toll-free, you can get confirmation that messages were sent. And this is important in a mission-critical environment like ours. You need something that provides a summary of before and after. You can get that with toll-free. So this allows us to gauge the effectiveness of the service. We can see things like delivery rate versus non-delivery rates, and we can see sublevels of non-delivered messages with error codes.
Scott, what made you select Plivo over other vendors?
So prior to Plivo, we used another vendor, and we had two problems. One, if we got blocked, no one from the other vendor would be able to help us. And two, we didn't know if things were actually being delivered. Confirmations were a big issue. So Plivo helped us tremendously with this by being very proactive. On one occasion, they saw that we were blocked at the same time we did. Plivo went right to the carrier to fix the issue. We were up and running right away. Then we got technical documents with details describing the event. We understand that these kinds of things can happen, but it is the way the situation is handled that counts. And Plivo did and continues to do a great job. Plivo has provided us with a stable platform that's used by almost all of our customers. Last month alone, we sent out over 460,000 SMS messages without an issue.
Wow.
The service reports are very informative. The check-ins let us know that we're a valued partner, and that really makes us feel good about our decision to use Plivo. I chose to do this webisode because I think your tech is solid, and I think your approach to clients is paying off. I'm pretty happy.
That is great feedback, Scott. I appreciate your comments, and I share your sentiment there. Scott, what advice would you give some of our listeners out there that could be on the fence about, integrating SMS into either their web or mobile apps?
Well, based on our experience and what I've had with Five Vector, SMS is the future. And if you don't provide the solution, you're going to be left behind. As I said before, smartphones are everywhere, so companies need to take advantage of this, and an easy way to do this is with SMS and Plivo.
Scott, I completely agree. I think that if used correctly, SMS is a very powerful medium, as you have demonstrated with your story today. I can't thank you enough for joining us today and spending a little bit of your time with us and sharing your story. I love the relationship between our two companies. And again, I want to thank you. Everyone, please give it up to Scot Cromer, the CEO of FlightVector.
And thanks for having me. It's always nice to be able to tell our story, especially one with such a good ending.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott.